HR issues can kill you. One complaint against your company can turn your world upside down. And you spend way too much time dealing with HR when you should be spending your time on making a profit. You should talk to Bambi. With Bambi, get access to your own dedicated US-based HR manager starting at just $99 per month. They get to know you and your business while providing HR expertise and the personal touch you need and want. They're available by phone, email, and real-time chat, so onboarding and terminations run smoothly. Team members reach peak performance, and your business stays compliant with changing HR regulations. And with Bambi's HR Autopilot, you'll automate important HR practices like setting policies, training, and feedback. HR managers can easily cost $80,000 a year, but Bambi starts at $99 per month. Schedule your free conversation today to see how much Bambi can take off your plate. Go to Bambi.com right now and type in Accelerate under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. Spelled BAM, BEE.com. Bambi.com. Type in Accelerate.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Welcome to Accelerate Your Business Growth with your host, Diane Helbig. Diane is a leading small business development and leadership coach, author, and speaker who is passionate about sharing valuable ideas, tips, and techniques with business professionals worldwide. Diane brings you the world's experts and gurus in all things business. Whether it's sales, structure, social media, planning, or plateauing, guests bring their expertise and energy to each episode. When growing your business is your focus, Accelerate Your Business Growth is the show to listen to. Got a topic or guest suggestion? Let Diane know. The goal is to make sure you have the information you need to move your business forward. Thanks for joining us. Settle in and enjoy.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. Head on over to audibletrial.com/businessgrowth to sign up for a free trial of audible.com where you can go exploring and go beyond the audiobooks because they're fabulous, but there is so much more for you to enjoy there. The Accelerate Your Business Growth podcast continues to enjoy inclusion on lists of the best podcasts to listen to. And this is because of the guests. These are folks who have expertise in particular areas of business, and they join me for a conversation where they share that expertise with all of you. Today is no exception. My guest today is TJ Everhart. TJ is the owner of TJ Everhart Consulting, Inc., an operations and performance management consulting firm. She has over 20 years of operations management experience gained from Wells Fargo, T-Mobile, and FIS. Her consulting firm helps organizations identify the human factors preventing them from meeting their operational and performance goals, and then offer the necessary training to correct the issues. She's also the co-owner of KapchurIt Training Solutions, a workplace training and development company. Thanks so much for joining me today, TJ.
Oh, Diane, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited, and I thank you so much for thinking about me.
Oh, well, I am super excited to have you here. And we are going to be talking about being an unstoppable leader, which I think is such a great topic.
Oh,
so we're going to dive right in. I want to know, what are some of the key attributes of an unstoppable leader?
There are several, but I always start with being introspective. And the leader has to first understand and recognize their strengths and their weaknesses. A lot of times the leader has a great ability to identify those things in others, those things that are the most about other people and what they aren't doing and what the team isn't doing.
Yeah.
So whenever I am coaching and developing leaders, I always start with the leader. So the leader themselves has to first be able to identify what they're good at and what they're not good at. And then they have to be able to take accountability within themselves to fix those things
Mm.
and let others, the leader has to be able to be coachable also. And they must know that, you know, as great as they are, right? They have some stuff that they're missing. So and the leader has to be able to say, I am coachable. I recognize that in order for me to bring out the best in my team, I can't operate in my weaknesses and expect them to operate in their strengths. So then this leader has to have the ability to be coachable and seek um, the help that they need to be better. So that would be the second thing I say. The third thing is you care about people. If you don't like people, go and run a project, right? Go and be an admin. Go where you don't have go. Just fix the technology on computers. If you don't like people, you can't be a leader if you don't like people. And it's amazing how many leaders like people.
Oh my God, TJ, I have to tell you something. Years ago, I had a friend who owned a staffing company,
Yeah.
and we would sit there and talk. And one day she said to me, I really hate people. And I
Yeah.
looked at her and I said, you need to find a new career. It's like,
Yes.
are you kidding?
Yeah. Your people are your greatest asset. I used to say, when in my last role before I became full time in my own, company, I had as many as 250 people under me,
Wow.
right? And they didn't report directly to me. Their managers reported directly to me, but under my responsibility was that many people.
Yeah.
And so I used to take the time to learn those people. And they would be surprised because some of them, I would be 4 levels above them. Some of them would say, oh, you're the boss's boss. Like they were shocked, right? And I would ask them, so how's your grandmother doing? Because I would hear from their manager that this person was out of the office because their grandmother got sick. And they would be shocked that I would walk over and say, how's your grandmother doing? I heard, something's
Yeah.
going on with her. And I would ask them, is there anything that we can do for you? They would be shocked that I would talk to them. And I recognize that you guys are doing the work that I need. I am at the top trying to make sure the department stays, financially sound
Right.
and that the doors stay open. But you're doing the legwork.
Yeah.
And so how do you lead people and don't like people?
Well, not well, I'll tell you.
Not well. You won't be an unstoppable leader because when
Yeah.
when your people recognize that you one care about them, but one thing my teams would always say, and it is so funny, Diane, my husband and I have been out in restaurants and former team members who I have had to fire. He has seen them come up to me and say to me, you were my favorite manager ever. I loved working for you. And then one of the guys said, although you fired me. And I said to him, I didn't fire you. I just filled out the paperwork to what you were doing.
Yeah, good for you.
I didn't fire you. You fired you. I just filled out the paperwork. But I'm saying that to say my teams also knew that accountability and expectations were set and solid.
Yeah.
We are going to not just meet goals, we smash goals. We exceed goals. That's my mindset. So my teams knew that we're going to work hard, but they knew one thing about me. TJ is going to be right there. If I have to stay late with you, I'm there. If I have to come in early with you, I'm there. And so they knew I cared about them. And because of that, my teams used to smash goals. And when I train leaders and when I go to these different companies, that's what I'm, first of all, let me look at your leaders. Do they
Yeah.
even care about the people that they're leading?
Yeah. Right. And I got to tell you, even wrote it down. I loved what you said. I can't operate in my weaknesses and expect them to operate in their strengths.
Right.
That's
And then,
huge.
and I can't operate in my weaknesses and not have anybody check me.
Yeah, right.
You know, the days are gone of I'm the boss, do what I say do, regardless of what I do.
Yeah.
I'm the boss. Those days are over, and they're over because of the generations that we have in the workforce. We've gone from, now we're in the workforce, we have all ages, from baby boomers to Gen Zs, and we all operate different with a
Yeah.
different work ethic, right? And the
Mm.
way, and it's not that anything is wrong, it's just the generations. Let's go back to baby boomers, the ones who check into a company and don't check out until they die, right? They checked in at 19, they leave at 65,
That's right.
and they work hard, and they were under the time frame where no matter how the person talked to you, no matter what the person said to you, you did it
Yeah.
because they were the boss. And they operated like that at home also. When you think about it, you didn't have
Oh,
much things that you could say. You didn't have an opinion. you
yeah.
know, you didn't. So we go through the generations, and now we go to the Gen Zs, the 20 and less, they're new
Yeah.
60, they're not taking that.
No.
They don't take it at home either. So when I, you know, when I'm doing these trainings and I'm saying to them, you guys remember the day when your parent told you to do something once and you did it without thinking about it? Wasn't an option. You didn't have a say so. You did it.
Yeah.
These kids, I have to tell mine 2 or 3 times
Yeah.
before they do
Yeah.
something. So they do it at home. Guess what else they're going to do it? At work.
Yeah.
So you can't
Huh.
manage the way of old in the new way of doing things. And
Yeah.
so we have a lot of people in those leadership roles of old because you checked in at 19. You've done this 30 years and now you're somebody, you're over people. You can't boss these people around. That's over. Not if you want to get the best out of them. Now, if you want to be right, be right. But if you want to be efficient, be better than right and be
Yeah.
efficient.
So it's so you said something about, I can't be in my weaknesses and not be checked. And
Yeah,
okay, so one of the things that I think leaders don't realize is that someone's always watching, and
absolutely.
that people know your weaknesses, even if you don't own them, other
Right.
people see them, and so you know it's hard to be respected
hmm
in that sort of situation if you're not owning your weaknesses.
It does a lot of things. You mentioned about not being respected. That's one. But you dismantle the team mindset. So
Um,
an unstoppable leader has to build a team. I often kind of relate it to, I'm in the state of Alabama, so we don't have professional football,
yeah.
but we have college football like none other. You would think that we are a professional team. So the way football is here, and believe it or not, I'm not the hugest fan of football, but I have a daughter that goes to the University of Alabama. So I say, my money goes there. So therefore, I root for the University of Alabama, right?
Yeah.
And so most people know about Coach Nick Saban.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So when I think about that, I think about as a leader, you build a championship team. But you never, if you ever just look at a championship football team or whatever, The coach is in the game with them. He's not playing, but he's not at the house calling plays. He's
Right.
standing right there with the team. He runs out on the field with the team. So he says that that position is saying that I play my part, you play your part, and together with our parts, we're going to be an unstoppable team. We're going to be a championship team. When you decide that I have my weaknesses and oh well, they just have to deal with it, you dismantle the team,
Mm.
because what you're saying is that I'm perfect. I'm going to pick you apart for your flaws, and you guys just accommodate to my flaws.
Right.
It doesn't work like that.
No.
How can the team everybody on the team has to play their part to the utmost of their abilities. And the coach cannot be sitting on the sideline, not being able to call a play, right? That's your weakness. I
Yeah.
don't know what I don't know how to call a play. So get out there and just play. How well you think they're gonna do? You need to learn how to call plays. And somebody needs to be able to tell you you're not good with calling plays, sir. And you fix it. So
Sort of obvious when we're not winning the game, but
yeah,
there's that,
it,
right? Yeah.
we're not winning, and you can't say we're not winning just because of the team
Right.
members.
Right.
If
Right.
your
Right.
if your department, if
Uh-huh.
your team, if your company is not producing the way that you expect it to, check you first.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's
that's
huge.
hard.
I
Leaders
know.
leaders have so much ego,
Yeah.
right? Who are
Yeah.
you? I have this degree, and I have 2 degrees, and now I'm Yale certified in divert. Who are you to tell me
Right.
that I don't know what I'm doing? I've been doing this 25 years, Diane. Well, yeah, you still carrying a pager, and we're on cell phones on 5G. Nobody's beeping you.
No one's beeping you.
That's over.
Do pagers even still exist?
Some people's mindset still exists. You
I
still
know, right?
operated. You
Right.
still operating back in the day. Times have changed. Come on,
Yeah.
leaders. So Diane, I hope you warned people. I don't know if they've been warned that I'm quite animated.
Why would I warn them, TJ?
No, I know. I'm quite animated. Always have been. Even when I was leading 250 people, this is what they got.
It's so
You know.
good.
So
It is so great. And I'm going to take a quick sponsor break, so
okay.
then we can continue the
All right.
conversation. All right.
All right.
So the Accelerate Your Business Growth podcast is sponsored by audible.com, and you can head over to audibletrial.com/businessgrowth to sign up for a free trial of audible.com. Once you get that free trial, my suggestion is that you not only check out the thousands of audiobook titles that there are to choose from, but take a listen to the Audible originals, guided meditations, podcasts. There is so much content there for you to enjoy, and it's all on one platform. So you don't have to jump in and out of platforms in order to listen to the things that you want to. That's one of the things I find really valuable about it. I'm sure you will as well. Today, we are speaking with, TJ Everhart about how to be an unstoppable leader. So, TJ, we before the break, we were talking about how the leader is part of the team and whatnot. And so, how does a leader go about building an unstoppable team or an unstoppable business?
So I go back to the first thing I say again, always check you. So I I tell this story about a lot of times when I was hired in to take over a department or teams, I would be external coming into already developed areas. Okay.
Yeah.
So there are people there who had been there 15 years or, whatever. And here's this external person coming in.
Yeah.
So who is she to come in and take over us? We've been here. Where's she come from? All those things.
Yeah.
So one of the things you have to do is just build trust in the people around you, that you know what you're talking about, that they hired you for a reason. And even for business owners, people have to trust that you can do what you say that you're going to do. But that comes from relationships. And I think, Diane, I often mention I do that. But you talk about, even in sales, it's built upon relationships.
Yes.
And relationships develop trust. And so what I would do is, when I first would come into an organization, assess the land. I even do that when I consult a company. When they say, I think some stuff going on, I go in and assess the land to see, just sit back and see what's going on. Don't come in taking over,
Huh.
because people have to trust, they have to build trust in you. And so for business owners with team members, especially if you've had these team members for a while, I would go in, and after a while, I would ask them to give me feedback about me.
Hmm.
And so I do this thing called start, stop, and continue. I'll tell this funny story. I wish they could see my face, but I would I would go into the conference rooms, and I would put a sheet of white paper on the walls. And on the wall, I would have a page that says, a flip chart that says start. It would say the word start. The next one would say the word stop. And the next sheet would say continue. And I would send a mass email out to everyone. And I would say, hey, I would like for you guys to go into the conference room whenever you get a chance. And I want you to tell me what you would like to see me start doing, stop doing, and continue to do.
Hmm.
So they would go into the conference room and tell me what, those things. Well, this is a great way for people to give you feedback that may not necessarily feel psychologically safe to give you feedback,
Huh.
which that's a whole nother podcast that we could talk about. Because as a leader, you have to create cultures of psychological safety,
Yeah.
where people can come to you and be honest about how they feel without fear of retaliation.
Right.
So leaders, you have to set spaces that are psychologically safe. So, but in the meantime, I would, now I had several people that they knew they can come and just tell me whatever, but this
Yeah.
gives people the comfort. So, Diane, I walked into the conference room, and on this board was the words, stop rolling your eyes. Stop with the facial expressions. And let me tell you what they would do. This is what they did, Diane. This happened twice, two different companies. So I really should have listened the first time, but I thought it was them, not me.
Of
Right?
course.
Yeah, because leaders is them, not me.
Yeah.
So I went, and Diane, like, instead of just writing it, they start putting check marks beside it. Like somebody walked in and said, oh yeah, somebody already said that. Check. So they just start checking it. And it was like 40 checks beside it. And they said, it would be stuff like start being more approachable. Me,
Wow.
the most approachable person in all of the world, the one that would give them anything that they need,
Yeah.
the one, well, obviously, right? That's what
Yeah.
I thought.
Huh.
Be more approachable, be more approachable. So that had a bunch of check marks too. So the thing about, if you want to be an unstoppable leader and you seek the feedback, you have to follow up. Don't seek feedback from someone and do nothing about it.
Oh, that's huge.
You asked me,
Yeah.
I told you, and you do nothing with it. So I sent an email out to everybody, and I said, okay, you guys are really cute. Thank you for 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 completing it, giving me my feedback. And so I said, I noticed that there was a resounding issue that several of you have. And so I said, gosh, I see I need to work on my facial expressions and I need to be more approachable. So let me ask any of you who put that as my feedback, do you mind meeting with me so that I can get an understanding of what I do?
Hmm.
And so because I can't fix what I really don't
Right.
know. So that's another thing. Like, how do you fix yourself if you're not listening to what people
Right.
say? So I asked them if they would. Several of them, they was like, yeah, girl, sure will. What time you want to talk? So I would meet them. I met them in, had a meeting with about 10 of them. And I said, I think that I am the most approachable person in all of the world. So why am I getting feedback that I'm not?
Yeah.
And they said, because TJ, you have a resting bee face. You know the
Really?
bees? See, you're shocked too, right?
Wow. Yeah.
And I said, really? And they were like, oh, yeah. There are times you walk through here as if you are mad at the world.
Wow.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? And then I said, well, can you tell me some times when I've done it? And they was like, yeah. So I've like popped in on your office and called your name. You looked up like you gave me the stare of death. And I'm like, really? Yes. Or there are times my office was in one side of the room. The bathroom was on the other side, and I would have to walk through where the team members were to get to the bathroom. And they said there are times when you walk through here like you are ready to just throw a bomb in here. And I'm like, really? So Diane, I had to think about that.
Yeah.
And then I thought about they are absolutely right. I am one of those people who I'm a thinker in the personality styles. If you've ever done DISC, I'm a strong D.
Yeah.
I'm a D, but I'm also a C, which is conscientious. They're thinkers. So for me, that means A goes to B, B goes to C, like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So when I am in my mode, I don't like C personalities. They don't work well when they're distracted or when things are thrown at them out of the blue.
Yeah.
So I can remember there are times they're probably right when I have just gotten off of a call with the CEO and got cussed out for 3 hours about something my teams didn't do right. And I'm going to the bathroom and I have another meeting in about 2 to 3 minutes. So the only time I have
Right.
is to go to the bathroom and run back. And
Yeah.
you stop me. First of all, you don't even report directly to me. So you should go to your manager or a team lead. Okay. But
Yeah.
you stop me and ask me the craziest question. And so they're right. I probably looked at them like, what the heck you asking
Sure.
me for?
Right.
I had to pee. I just got cussed out and I have another meeting. And
Yeah.
so, but what I recognized was that I have to fix that. And I had to fix it because what they said was, you're not approachable, so that if we really have an issue, they didn't feel like they could come to me.
Right.
And that was so not me. So I fixed it. And how I fixed it was I said to them, hold me accountable. If you see me walking through here, the resting bee face, tell me. Say, TJ, fix your face. And that's what they did. They could not
Wow.
believe that I even wanted them to hold me accountable to it.
Right.
So if you're not perfect and your imperfections are hurting your team. So that was what I had to do.
Wow.
If someone is telling you, as it relates to you being a business owner, that you're slow in communications, your customer service is not that great, it doesn't matter all the things that you have going on. Do
Right.
you want to be right or do you want to be efficient? So you
Yeah.
need to fix that. So that's what I say.
Yeah.
Ask people to help you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that is really great. It's funny, when you were telling that story, it reminded me of when I first, was in business and I was a supervisor, and I would walk in from the back of the room. The parking lot was
Yeah.
in the back, and we had split shifts. So the people were already working, but my office was at the front of the room. And one day my boss brought me in her office and she said, "Howard thinks you don't like him." And I
And you're
said,
like, what did I do to Howard?
"Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Why?" And she
Yeah.
said, "Because you don't stop and say good morning to him when you come in." And I looked
Yes.
at her and I said, "That is the dumbest
Are
thing
you
I have
kidding me?
ever." Oh no. I,
I know. I'm thinking
right?
I've heard it before. You're like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. His back is to me. He's got a quota to meet. He's on production. Why would I? So she just
Mhm.
looked at me and she said, "Diane, when you're in leadership, you have to deal with people based on who they are, not on who
Yep.
you are."
Absolutely.
And it was huge, right? Just a
Absolutely.
total paradigm shift, because I realized, okay, well, I may think that's ridiculous, but it matters to
Ah,
Howard.
absolutely. You have to say that I am not my management style, which is a little bit different than leadership, but I am not my management style. My management style and my leadership style is based upon the people that I am leading.
Yeah.
There are some people I could, and again, it goes back to the DISC personality and several different, Myers-Briggs and all these personality styles. There are people that you can lead that you can go straight to them, right? Shoot them straight. I take the gun out and shoot them straight, shoot it straight
Yeah.
at them. They're fine with it.
Yeah.
They're good. TJ, I don't go around the bush with me. Tell me what you want. I'm done.
Right.
There are some you have to talk softly to.
Yeah.
There are some you have to give them time to think about it because they're a thinker. There are some I already knew when they don't like to be confronted or held accountable. So I already knew the conversation is going to be longer than I needed to be.
Yeah.
Probably going to last an hour, should be 15 minutes, but hey, they're going to talk. I'm going to put them at the end of the day.
Right.
So, it's like
Oh.
really leading people is like leading one person with a whole bunch of multiple personalities. Yeah, it's fun times.
Wait, why are we doing this again?
That's why I said if you don't like people,
Yeah.
it is not the thing to do.
No.
Because as great as it is to be the leader, it's work. It is
Yeah.
hard work if you want to be good at it. And
Yeah.
if you want to get the great results, it's work, man. It's a lot of sacrifice and dealing with what you and I would call like dumb stuff. Like, really? But we
Yeah.
can't minimize what matters to our team members.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I
Right.
probably said a whole bunch of stuff in my head,
Of course. Of
that I didn't
course.
say out loud. I probably would have been like, how, really, what? But,
Yeah.
okay, well, let me make sure I speak to him.
Yeah.
Yep, and build
Yeah.
that relationship with him. So I understand.
Ugh. Yep.
Fun
Yep.
times.
And I did. And you know what? He was fine. And so
Yep,
it was a simple
just like
thing.
that.
Yep. Exactly.
Just
Oh
like
my
that.
gosh, TJ, I think this is so important for people to hear. And I so appreciate it. So will you tell people, how they can find you, what you've got going on, please?
Absolutely. So the easiest way to just go to my website, tjeverhart.com. On my website, you'll find all of my social media buttons to just click on those buttons. And you can follow me on LinkedIn. I'm under Tijuana Everhart on LinkedIn. Everything else is TJ Everhart. Also, my podcast is there on the website
Yeah.
and my workplace training company. So I'm really excited, Diane, that my partner and I are one of few African American women that owns a workplace development training company. So KapchurIt Training Solutions, you can find that there. And we have, I train this course that you just sat in, all of you that listen, you've just sat in on some of the courses that I do.
Nice.
And so this is how I give it.
Yeah.
We like to laugh. I don't like boring. Um, I can't do it. No one wants to be lectured. So,
Right.
we do it in a fun way. And so you can find that also on my website. You can find the link to Capture It Training Solutions there. And our podcast, the Ops Manager and the Lawyer podcast, helping employers capture and correct workplace training issues before you get captured in court.
Oh
So
my gosh. It is so great. I mean, seriously, the content that you are offering people and the programming and
thank you.
it is so valuable. I'm really grateful that you
Yes,
spent this time with me. So
I love it. Can I come back?
sure.
I just invited myself back.
I
I like
hey,
to
listen.
talk.
Absolutely.
When are you
Absolutely.
coming over? So now because your book is my sales Bible
I
because sales is not my
know.
thing, right?
I'm thank
We
you for
know.
that.
Yeah, your
I
book
hope
is
it's
my
helping.
Bible. It does. It's great.
Yay. Yay.
I love it.
Well,
Thank you.
my pleasure. Listen, this is why I wrote it, right?
Yeah, for people like me.
To
Thank
help
you.
people,
And that's why I do what I do
right?
for people who want exceptional exceptional outcomes, not
Yeah.
just meet goals, kill goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Wow. Well, listen, I'm going to thank the listeners now and remind them that this is one of those episodes you probably want to listen to a couple of times and then you want to go connect with TJ.
Thank you.
Right? Because I took copious notes. So
Oh, wow.
I imagine so did everybody else. I'd also like to thank audible.com. Head on over to audibletrial.com/business growth. Sign up for a free trial and go exploring. I think you're going to find it is just remarkable the kind of content that you can get there. As always, remember to be curious. It's my favorite word. And profitable and prosperous. And until we meet again on another episode of Accelerate Your Business Growth, goodbye and good day.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the name your price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Imagine how fast we could solve the world's biggest problems if more SaaS startups would gain traction sooner. Welcome to the Tech Entrepreneur on a Mission podcast. This podcast is dedicated to sharing experiences from B2B SaaS CEOs who are going above and beyond to deliver change that is noticed. You will hear their secrets and learn what is required to build a SaaS business that the world starts talking about and keeps talking about, and how to overcome the roadblocks to do so.